What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Ethan. Hope you're having a great freaking day. After a long day of busting tournaments that you may or may not have already seen, I'm at Resorts World playing some cash. Turns out there's some 10-20 games going on, and I'm ready to splash around after a long day of tournaments. Cash is where it's at. I'm gonna have a good time, and you guys are gonna have a good time too. I'm buying in for anywhere between 20 to 30,000. It's a big one, 10, 20. To see how this game ends up going on, just starting now. Must-win situation. I've burned a lot of money in tournament buy-ins, so let's win this one. Wish us luck. Leave a like for these higher stakes cash games. It's gonna be a fun time. I'll see you guys on the felt, ready to punt. Into the 10-20 game here at Resorts World. Not your typical with the $40 straddle on the whole night. I buy in for anywhere between 20 to 30,000 to start. And let's get into this hand where I'm on the $80 straddle. I put in the obligation to dump $80 in the middle, and I actually pick up ace-10 offsuit, which is a pretty good hand. Action folds to the small blind, who raises to $160. He just thought the 40 was on and didn't know the 80 was on. Anyways, it folds to me, and for $80 more, I'm going to make the call here. Don't think I need to re-raise in this spot. We're going to a flop of 8-7-5 rainbow. And he decides to bet out 180 into this pot, where I feel like he shouldn't hit this board too often. So sitting with ace-10 high, I have a backdoor straight draw opportunity. I make the call. When the turn comes a 10, pretty cool as I now have top pair, top kicker. He decides to slow down and check. Definitely a fun card for me here, and I'm going to bet for value with top pair. Expected to be good a lot of the time when he checks the turn, so I bet out 440. And for 440, he decides on a call. Alrighty, let's see what happens when the river is an ace. Wow, runner, two pair. That's going to be pretty good. He checks for a second time here on this river, and I'm going to bet for value, and I'm going to bet a little big. $1,200, sir. Make it $1,200, put it in the middle. He doesn't look too happy, but he quickly makes the call. I show the ace-10, and he shows 8-7 of spades. Oh my God. My read was so wrong on the flop, but here we are. What did you expect? Runner, two pair to suck out big time. Moving right along to the main game now, $40 straddle on. I pick up pocket 10s in the big blind. Mariano's in this game, and he raises things up to $110 from the low jack. The hijack and small blind make the call, and considering everyone is playing super deep in this hand, I'm trying to raise it up because pocket 10 seems like a pretty good hand to raise. I 3-bet to 700, and well, everyone makes the call. The low jack and the hijack make the calls, and we see a flop of ace-10, 8-2 spades. Bink City for me with middle pair, playing out of position and on a very wet board. I'm trying to pump some money in the middle here. So here out of position, I decided to bet out $850. And you know what? Everyone calls. Mariano, the hijack, no one believes me, or they all have a piece of it. I'm just so confused as to what's going on. All right, let's see a turn, which comes a jack that's red. Not so bad because the spades have missed so far, and I'm so confused as to how I should play this hand. I'm sure someone could have a straight. I'm sure someone could have two pair. Someone could have pocket jacks for all I know. I don't know, but pocket 10s here out of position. Playing against three other players, I'm just kind of guessing, and I decided to check. That gives Mariano some rope to bet out into the middle, and he decides on $1,700. So when everyone folds to me, facing a pretty small bet from him, considering the size of the pot here, there's definitely merit to check raising because Mariano obviously covers the entire table, so I'm playing like $20,000 to $30,000 effective here at this point, and it certainly seems like a good time to check raise and deny some equity from spades or get value from two pair. Who knows, but I ended up just making the call here. Pretty sure that if he misses his draw or something, Mariano's going to find a way to barrel and bluff. So I toss in calling chips, and the river comes the king of spades. Just a horrendous card to see. Any queen beats us, and obviously the obvious spade draw. I check it over to him now, just praying for him to check it back. But he ends up betting, and it's a very uncomfortable sizing of $4,200. Damn it, man. Trying to piece out the story here. Look, I lose to just so much. I lose to pocket jacks that he certainly can have here, and I lose to a queen. Is a queen even betting here, or does a queen even make sense for him to have?
On top of that, not only do I lose the queen, like I said, I lose to all the spade combos that he certainly could semi-bluff on the turn, but I feel like a lot of spades would just want to check since we were multi-way on the turn card. Unsure, but here I am. Holding the 10 of spades to block some spade combos seems very relevant in this hand, and I have one of the strongest hands I'll ever have, which is a set. So definitely can fold all 2 pairs, but sets, I guess, fall into that same category, and I just flick in a call, because that's what I do, because folding is boring. He shows me 5-7 of spades, sadly, and I just lose a whole pile of chips to my friend over here. I like you a lot. I don't like you $4,200 worth, but I guess that is the cost of friendship with this guy. Hand following that, I pick up ace-10 offsuit on the button. This hand served me quite well in the past. When there's nothing going to open to $120, I'm in position, happy to see a flop. I make the call, and the small blind and big blind call as well. Now we're going to a flop of 8-5-5 2 hearts. And when the early position player continues for a c-bet of 240, I'm holding the ace of hearts, and I decided to call here. A little bit suspicious, probably could just fold right here, right now, but I'm here to battle. I call, and we're going heads up to a turn, which is the jack of diamonds. All right. Doesn't hit me at all. I wish I was sitting with ace-jack instead of ace-10 now, but anyways, he bets out $560, thinking potentially I'd be able to bluff on a heart on the river, hopefully. Let's see what we can do. I make the call again, and the river is the king of clubs. This is not it. Not only does this run out completely smash his under the gun opening range, I don't have anything. So when he checks it over to me, I think it's a little strange that he checks here, but I don't think he can bluff him off of any pair or holding he could have. Sitting with ace high, I just check back, and he shows me 8-4 of clubs. What? Okay, I get completely owned here, and I lose again, chipping down. Every dealer change, the table is friendly, and we all decide to do a PLO double board bomb pot, something that everyone loves to see. $100 into the middle from every single player. So we're going 8 ways to the first flop of ace jack 8, 2 clubs and a spade. Flop number 2 is ace 3-4, 2 hearts. And I look down at ace 10, 5-3, double suited with spades and hearts. So there's a lot going on for me. I have top pair on the first flop and backdoor spade draws. I have 2 pair on the bottom with potentially a straight draw and the flush draw. So much going on, and the big blind bets out $100. There's an early position player call of 100, and I decided to not blow up the size of the pot. I just have no idea how to play these hands and play this dynamic, so calling seems reasonable since everything changes on the turns and rivers anyways in PLO, especially double board. So I call, and the small blind calls. So 4 ways now to a turn. Pot's building just a tad bit. The turn number 1 comes a 5 of spades, improving me to the nut flush. Turn number 2, 4 of spades, which counterfeits my 2 pair of ace 3. Okay, anyways, the small blind once again bets $100. Very strange to lead into the fields and basically doing some min bets. I'm confused, but the big blind calls, and then the low jack says pot. Yep. He says pot, which will amount to $1,780. And now I get to act in position. What do I do here, people? I need some help. I don't know what to do. I have the nut flush draw. I have a lot going on the second board as well, even though it's paired, but still have a lot going for me. What do you want me to do exactly? I'm confused. So for 1780, we're playing for stacks, I guess. I decide to make the call here to gamble, and I get to play this hand in position, I guess. And guess what? It's madness. Small blind calls the 1780. The big blind calls the 1780. No one has folded yet, and we're going 4 ways to a massive pot brewing here on the freaking river. It's sweat time. Let's hit something here. River number 1 comes the 6 of spades, the nuts, giving me the nut flush. Oh my God, that's awesome. River number 2 is a 10, which gives me top 2 pair, which actually is not so bad. Anyways, on these beautiful river cards, I know that I'm at least already guaranteed half of the pot, and there might be a decent chance that I win the bottom one as well. Action checks it over to me. Okay, seems like no one wanted to bet on these rivers, and I obviously have a very good hand that wants to bet. How much do I want to bet? I don't know, but you know what's more fun when you play a PLO is that you can just say pot, and that's binding. I say pot, and someone has to bring out the calculator because of all this ridiculous action. Granted, it's very hard to do all this math in your own head. And after someone calculates the size of the pot, it's $8,420. Wow. Didn't expect the size of this pot to get so big, but I already said it. It's binding, and I stick $8,420 in the middle. Granted, I also want the pot to be as big as possible. And here we are. Action folds around. The small blind and big blind fold sadly, so no action from them. And this hijack player doesn't take too long before flicking in a call. I expect to be good, I think. I expect to at least chop it, obviously. So I show my hand, and he shows me the king high flush and pocket jacks for a set on the board that I have the nuts on. And what does he have on the nuts on? Just a pair of jacks. I scoop the whole damn thing. It's a $25,000 pot, and I am scooping it all up. Who cares about losing the pot to Mariano? Who cares about losing these other pots? I just won probably one of the biggest pots of my entire life, and how ironic is it that it comes in a PLO double board bomb pot? Just absolutely massive. Thank you to the dealer for giving me the nuts, runner nuts, by the way, with that flush. And I don't know what to say. I have so many chips. I just won the largest pot I've ever had. And if you hit that like button down on this video, then you just might win your largest pot of your night the next time you play poker as well. Okay, moving on to the normal hold'em stuff. That's what you signed up for. I have 5-6 of spades on the straddle. There's an older lady in early position that limps to $40. Folds to the big blind to my right who raises to 200. And I feel like I have a fun hand to play, so I call 200, and then the lady decides to limp raise to 440. This pot is definitely going to get very expensive now. And the big blind calls for 240 more. I can't get in here. I'm going to gamble. I just won a 25K pot. Let's gamble for 240 more. 3 ways to a flop of king, queen, 6, 2 spades. How fun is this? I shouldn't be in the pot, but here we are with a lot of equity with a pair and flush draw. Action checks to the older lady, and she decides to go all in. Just casual. It's about $1,500. The big blind gets out of the way, and there is simply no chance in hell I'm ever folding. I have so much equity, even versus like ace king or whatever, so I call the all in. I show my hand, and somehow she shows pocket nines? What? There's a lot of debate as to how many times that she wants to run it, and eventually she decides on twice. So here we are, dealer. Let's see a spade on both turns and rivers. The first one comes brick, brick, sad. Second one comes brick, spade. Okay, friendly chop. We'll chop up the big blinds $440. But pocket nines, that is impressive to have that hand in an all-in pot for her entire stack. Things are getting ridiculous because once again, there's an $80 straddle on. We're playing 40-80, which is very comparable to like a 50-100 game. Anyways, I pick up ace king offsuit in the small blind, and action folds to me. So really good hand to play, and I raise it up to $300. The big blind to my left now at 3 bets to 900. Okay. Action folds to me here, and seeing he's got about $5,000 in his stack, which in this game is close to 50 big blinds. It's really not a lot. I'm playing pretty shallow against a decent player. On top of that, I'm out of positions, so that kind of leads me to one decision, and it's to play it like a tournament. And what would I do in this tournament situation? It would be to 4-bet all in. Yep, I'm just going to rip it in there because that's what happens when the $80 straddle is on. You get handcuffed to some decisions pre-flop. And when I jam, he makes the call for his entire stack. So it's like a $10,000 to $11,000 pot. We decide to run it once. He has pocket queens. It is a very classic race. Casual flip for over $10,000. And the red out, no help. Pocket queens ends up winning, sadly. I actually pay him $5,650 total. So this was an $11,000 pot. And it's rough to lose that much on just a flip that I couldn't win. So when I tell you that this game is getting out of line, well, it's true because I'm in the $80 straddle here, and the table agrees to a round of 160s. 10, 20, 40, 80, 160 for a whole round. That's right. Anyways, action folds to me on the $80 straddle, basically playing like blind versus blind or whatever. I pay pocket 6s, and it's a really good hand, so I raise it up to 400. This player decides on a call, and we're off to a flop, which comes ace queen 6. Oh my god. Bottom set is going to be a good hand, especially in this ridiculous game where we're playing very deep stacked and high stakes. Anyways, I bet out 1,000 here on this flop, hoping he hit a pair. Sadly, he folds, but I just had to show you guys the dynamics of this table in this hand. Everyone's here to gamble. For one of the last interesting spots of the night, I pick up pocket jacks in the small blind. Nothing crazy here, just the normal 10, 20, 40. There's a button who raises to $100, and now onto me. Obviously, definitely going to put in a 3-bet, and I size 5x the raise to 500, mainly because I'm out of position, and also the button player is playing pretty deep. The button player makes the call, so going heads up out of position to a flop of queen, 8, 6, 2 clubs, and a heart. Here we are. A card over my pair isn't really the best thing in the world, but I have to bet here because I feel like I just kind of have to out of position. Anyways, I bet out $340, trying to protect my hand from overcard, trying to get value from 10s or 9s or even an 8 maybe. Anyways, for $340, he makes the call. The turn now is a board pairing 6, which overall shouldn't change a whole lot. There are 2 flush draws on the board now, and I decided to start with a check. The plan would probably just be to check call a bet, but he checks it back. When we see a river, which comes a king of clubs, the front door flush gets there, another card over my pair is there, and overall, just a horrible spot to be in with pocket jacks. No one knows how to play jacks. Luckily, action goes check, check though, and I get to showdown. I show my hand, and it's good. Nice to end off the night, picking up another pot, and safe to say, everything went pretty well this session.
Just got back home and wanted to go over this session. My freaking goodness, the swings in this are insane. Down 5K, up a pile, lose a $11,000 flip. This game had it all. So if you stick to the very end, please hit that like button. It helps the channel grow. Comment down below your favorite hand and any spots that you think I misplayed, because I'm sure I did. To go over the numbers, I was in for piles. I was in for 45,000 and somehow found a way to eke out a profit of 50,000, or I was out for $50,080, so the profit of $5,080. Fantastic, because that coincidentally is around the same number that I kind of gave away in tournament buy-ins. But yeah, it's kind of crazy, the swings of this game. So like, I won $5,000, but if I didn't pay off the 4K from Mariano, then I'd be up 9,000. And then somehow, if I won the flip, Ace King versus Queens, that's another 11,000. So I literally could have won $20,000 just off of 2 points, decision points, I guess. One was just a flip. The other one was like a decision that I should have made. So it just kind of shows how important each and every single decision is in games like this and how big that they can fluctuate the overall profit and loss. And yeah, happy things went well. Somehow found a way to eke out a win. The PLO bomb pot hand was absolutely massive. But thanks so much for watching. This video had everything, high stakes, a lot of action. And thanks for sticking to the end. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hopefully more wins to come. Peace.